Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the hills, there lived an old farmer named Mr. Khan. He had worked hard all his life, tilling the land, tending to his cattle, and making sure his three sons, Arif, Bilal, and Farhan, had everything they needed. Mr. Khan loved his sons deeply and sacrificed his own comforts to ensure they had a good education, a comfortable life, and all the opportunities he never had. As the years passed, Mr. Khan grew older and weaker. His hands, once strong from years of hard labor, trembled as he worked. Yet he never complained. He had always believed that his sons would take care of him in his old age, just as he had cared for them when they were children. However, things began to change as the years went by. Arif, the eldest, had moved to the city to work in a well-paying office job. Bilal, the middle son, had become a teacher at a local school, while Farhan, the youngest, had pursued a career in business. Each of them was busy with their own lives and had grown distant from their father. One winter day, Mr. Khan fell ill. He struggled to keep up with the chores, but the weight of the years was catching up with him. He sent word to his sons, asking for their help, but only Arif replied, and that was only because he felt obliged to. Arif came to visit for a few days, but his mind was always on his work. He barely noticed his father's struggles and didn't offer much help. Bilal sent a small amount of money, telling his father that it should be enough for his needs. Farhan, who had been caught up in the excitement of his growing business, didn't even respond to the message. Mr. Khan felt hurt, but he didn't say a word. He simply smiled and continued to carry on, as he always had. Days turned into weeks, and Mr. Khan's health deteriorated. The once vibrant man, who had worked tirelessly for his family, was now frail and weak. One evening, as he sat alone in his small cottage, he realized that the love and care he had given to his sons had gone unnoticed. They had become consumed by their own lives, forgetting the sacrifices he had made for them. One day, when he could no longer care for himself, Mr. Khan called his sons together. They all came reluctantly, each one with their own reasons for visiting. When they sat around the table, he spoke quietly, his voice tired but firm. "My dear sons," he began, "I've spent my entire life working to give you everything I never had. I worked day and night, toiling under the sun, so that you could have a better future. But now, in my old age, I find myself alone, forgotten by the very people I sacrificed everything for." The sons shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Arif, Bilal, and Farhan looked at each other, avoiding their father's gaze. "I have never asked for much," Mr. Khan continued. "All I wanted was for you to remember the sacrifices I made for you, and in return, care for me in my time of need. But I see now that you have all moved on with your lives, and I am no longer important to you." Tears welled up in the eyes of the old man as he looked at his sons. For a moment, there was silence. Then he spoke again, his voice softer but full of wisdom. "You may be successful, you may have wealth and power, but without love, without family, what do you really have? A man can work hard his whole life, but if he does not teach his children the value of gratitude and love, then he has failed in the most important way." The sons were stunned. For the first time, they truly understood the weight of their father's words. They had been too focused on their own lives to see how much pain they had caused him. They had forgotten the love and sacrifices that had shaped their own lives. Arif, the eldest, was the first to speak. "Father, I am so sorry. I have been selfish. I have been so focused on my career that I failed to see how much you needed me." Bilal followed. "I've been busy with my job and my own responsibilities, but I realize now that I should have made time for you. I'm sorry, Father." Farhan, the youngest, stood up and knelt beside his father. "I've been chasing after success, but I neglected the most important thing, my family. Please forgive me, Father. I was wrong." Mr. Khan smiled weakly, tears falling from his eyes. It's never too late to change, my sons. Love and gratitude are the greatest gifts we can give each other. I hope you will remember that. In the days that followed, the three sons took turns caring for their father. They spent time with him, listened to his stories, and helped him with his daily needs. They began to realize that success and wealth were fleeting, but family and love were the true treasures of life. Before Mr. Khan passed away, he saw his sons transform. They were no longer the self-absorbed young men they had once been. They had learned the true value of gratitude, sacrifice, and love. Mr. Khan died peacefully, knowing that his sons had finally understood the most important lesson of all.